So between the previous recording and this recording, I discovered a few things. The first thing is there's a Steam achievement that you can index, you can find out somehow, like somewhere on Steam. I can't figure out how to navigate to it again. There's a page that lists the Steam achievements and then what percentage of the players have gotten each one. On it, it lists an achievement that has something to do with, that has a name of something like useful tool or something of that nature. And the little thumbnail that it's represented by has something that looks like a drag select. And so I went into the game and tried to see if something would drag select, and yeah, it looks like there is oh, good feature. Wow. Why did not unlock until now? Okay, it is a drag select. So I don't know if on recording, like me getting a Steam achievement actually shows up. It might not, I don't know, but it just showed up just then. You can drag select things. So that gives me this idea, okay, what if I try to drag select, like, first of all, you can only drag select on the background. You can't drag select like on the taskbar or in the game or anywhere, just only on the desktop background. Like, okay, well, great. I don't know what I use this for. Well, if you go to pictures, I noticed that this is called wallpapers, and then I suddenly thought, if it's a wallpaper, can it be set as wallpaper? And it turns out, yes, you can. And if you do that, see the wallpaper changed. There's another Steam achievement that you get, which has a very strange description. That is, your desktop wallpaper could not be changed due to an administrative policy restriction on this computer. For more information, contact your system administrator. Now, that's somewhat odd because I just changed it and it didn't throw me an error. So I don't know what that's all about, but you can change the wallpaper, which means that you can do drag selects on different wallpapers, which seems to suggest that there is some picture where if you can set it as your wallpaper and then do drag selects on it, and then it causes something to happen. Now, of course, I haven't unlocked all of them, so it could be one that I haven't unlocked yet, for which I can drag select on, and it does something. Or maybe it doesn't do anything. Maybe the feature is just you discover you could drag select, and that's it. So next thing, under settings, you have something called the data collected in the upper right. Wait, does this go to 4K? Yeah, okay, it does some weird scaling. I don't know what that did on the recording. Anyway, last but looked at it before I did the last side story that I did, which is Reflection. It was 80, and then after I finished Reflection, which unlocked this CG here, this particular CG, it increased to 84. Now that might be because just completing side stories increases the data collected because you're collecting data about the control simulation, or data collected is just all it means is just what percentage of the pictures, mail, and music that you've unlocked. And that's all it is. And you get a Steam achievement for getting it to 100%, and I don't know if it unlocks anything, like gives you any timestamps or some odd thing, but it can be got to 100%. Now I've got 100% of the wallpapers. I've got 100% of the poems. I'm presuming the remaining three CGs are in the side story that I haven't done yet, self-love. Um, I have not. I've also unlocked all of the backgrounds. Now I haven't unlocked all of the sketches. These are um, unlocked by doing very specific things in the main game. Now last recording I kind of criticized myself for calling it the main game because I was pulling in terminology from Your Turn to Die, Death Game by Majority. However, Team Salvado themselves uses the terminology main game. See, main game. So I wasn't completely wrong in calling it the main game. Anyway, going back to pictures. Um, and I haven't unlocked all of the promotional art, all the promos. Those are unlocked by doing, again, specific things in the main game. So those are going to be hard to figure out how to unlock all of. Now, you also noticed I haven't unlocked all the special poems, but I've unlocked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far, and have yet to unlock 4. That's because I've played through the main game 3 times, twice on recording, once off. And every time you play through the second pass of the main game, or Virtual Machine 1, or whatever you want to call it, it unlocks 2 special poems. So to unlock all 10, I would just need to play the main game 2 more times. So at least I know how to do that. But yeah, these are going to be the sketches and the promos are going to be challenging when it comes to a 100. Because I presume you need to do those in order to 100% the data. Next thing I figured out, the music. So I can say turn on Poem Panic. Usually in my videos, the game background is reduced by 25 dB. So you may not be able to hear the background music right now, especially consider I'm talking over it. Anyway, you can close this, but you can also not close it. You can just click outside of it. And then it disappears, but that background music continues to keep playing. Which means you can do things like navigate to, say, the files. And it'll just keep going in the background. So that makes me think, okay, what if I say play track 6, which is Poem Panic, and while it's playing, go to, it's internal, isn't it? 030. And it doesn't work. But it gave me that idea. The idea didn't work. Yeah. If you listen to this music for 20 minutes total, accumulated over all of your gameplay, you get a Steam achievement for that. If you're playing this on Steam, called Buy My Mixtape. Experimenting with this, I happened to get Buy My Mixtape. Oh, turn that off. Okay. So that's all the things I've thought of or discovered in the break between recordings. No new mail. Oh, that's the other thing. So last time I showed this page, I've Laster's email. The time at which it was sent was listed here as opposed to the date. Yesterday, when I was messing around was looking around in the game, the time had moved to this other email by Ive on the 9th. Now it's nowhere to be found. All of these just show the date. Now, does it cycle through? Does when it happens to land on a specific date, that unlocks something? So that's like, It's something to think about. Like, what should these show the time as opposed to the date mean? It's got to mean something, otherwise it wouldn't be done, right? It's got to mean something, otherwise that feature would be there. Okay, going on to the side stories, we have one more therapy session called Self Love. I'll try to get through this. Yeah, just do it. Very unmotivated and unexcited by these. Despite this being the last one, I'm just like, meh. It's only been one day since Yuri's letter was delivered to Natsuki with Monika's help. Because Yuri chose not to attend the club meeting that day, she and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting the hours until she will need to face the outcome of her efforts, whether good or bad. It's like that situation where you don't check your email because you're worried about how someone will respond. It's really important to know how they responded, but you just don't want to know. Or you don't look at your grades. You kind of want to know your grades, but then you just don't look at them because you didn't want to, yeah, anyway. And because the passing by of students was making her feel even more anxious, Yuri picked out the most secluded spot she could find to spend her lunch. Because the staircase is under maintenance, no student would have any reason for coming here. It's such a relaxing feeling to have a moment of solitude in the middle of a frantic school day. And then that happened. Beep.
What are you doing here?
I just... Yuri grips her book with enough force to wrinkle the pages beneath the pressure of her thumbs. Well, what are you doing here?
I just came to get a drink from the vending machine. The other one is out of the drink I like.
Yuri notices Natsuki fidgeting with a few coins between her fingers. She nods, avoiding eye contact. Natsuki also looks away, shuffles over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seems to reverberate through the entire stairwell. It's like walking through the physics building. After far too long, she finally receives her beverage, which she then fidgets with in place of the coins. It's some kind of iced tea. But instead of leaving right away, Natsuki just stands in place. She glances all around her.
It's like way too quiet here. It's creepy. I mean, that's not what I meant, really. I mean, it's totally cool that it's your thing or whatever. Like, I can see how it suits you, so... Not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean that either. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. That seems like a good idea.
It's okay. Everything is okay. Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. Seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits herself down near Yuri.
Well, I can leave if you want.
Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki twists the cap off her drink and takes a sip. Despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything more. Yuri continues to read, or at least pretends to. And the two just sit there for a long time. The tension seems to fade a little bit as time passes. Even without any words, this seems to mean at least something, though it's not clear what that may be. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. It's like, does anybody watch Bo Hightower? The tensions seem to fade over time. Or the tensions seem to fade as time passes. Anyway, Natsuki is the first to stand up with her empty drink bottle. Are you coming today? Yeah, I just said that normal.
To the club.
Yuri nods.
I'm sorry for being awkward. I'm really bad at talking about this stuff. I just can't for some reason. I don't know why. But I want to, eventually.
There's no rush. I promise.
Thanks.
In the next day, or it's the next day, Natsuki appears from around the corner and steps up to the vending machine, glancing at Yuri as she does so. Today she seems to be holding some kind of book as well.
Oh, you're here again.
In case you did notice, the background music got introduced again. And it's my song, Your Note again, I believe.
Well, I just came here to read this because there aren't any people around here.
Nope. Definitely not my song, Your Note. I was wrong. Okay. Oh, I thought you didn't like how quiet it was.
Well, I don't. But there's no people here.
I see. Natsuki sits down. The mood feels much different today than it did yesterday. After yesterday's lunch and the club meeting that followed, Natsuki and Yuri are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other again. Although Yuri's letter is still lingering in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to detour around it. But it's okay that I am here? I'm a person too, you know.
Yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't feel like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since, like, they all just assumed I stopped reading manga after I joined the literature club. Not that I'm trying to hide it from them exactly. But I just don't want it to come up again now after I've waited so long for this new volume to come out. Literally months at this point.
You don't have other friends who are into manga?
Not unless online friends count. And Sayori, but that's different because she's not exactly into it. She just likes it, you know what I mean? Honestly, you're lucky that the books you're into at least just look like books, so you don't have to feel like everyone is constantly judging you by what you're reading.
That would be awful. Especially since I already hate attention so much.
Well, it's a good thing I have thick skin, I guess. By the way, I would totally recommend finding some friends online if you haven't already, if you're like me and have no one to share your hobbies with.
Oh, I have online friends. Stare straight at you. Since middle school, actually, I was especially desperate back then. It's somewhat embarrassing to reminisce about those days. Sometimes I feel like the me from a few years ago would have benefited from a good smack across the face.
Oh, whatever. We were all just stupid kids back then anyway. Some of the fanfics I wrote, I used a pseudonym. But I liked it at the time. I got a lot of fulfillment out of it. And plus, I can look back and say with confidence that I've become a better person since then. So I don't think I would change anything.
I wonder if a few years from now we'll think the same thing about our current selves.
Ha ha ha, probably.
That doesn't make you uncomfortable?
Of course not. I don't care what other people think of me, especially someone who doesn't even exist yet.
For the record, I do care what my future self thinks of me.
All right, here.
But at least I use a pseudonym. Natsuki raises her hand to her face and forcibly slaps her own cheek.
That's me from the future coming to terms with me right now. Also, ow, I didn't mean to do it that hard.
Yuri doesn't seem to react. But then, to Natsuki's surprise, Yuri slyly looks the other way before lifting her arm and doing the same thing to herself, loudly smacking her cheek. She turns red and stares into her lap, but is unable to hide a smile, as though it was a really funny joke.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't know you had it in you.
I don't even know why I did that. Maybe I thought it would be funny. Sorry I keep distracting you. You said you were looking forward to reading, but I keep going on about all this nonsense. I'll let you get to your reading.
Oh, right. Yeah, I guess I'll do it. I'll do that then.
The conversation ends quickly, and Natsuki opens her book. The two read silently for the remainder of the lunch hour. But the whole time, Yuri feels distracted by a twist of regret over having so abruptly forced the end of their conversation. You're back.
Yeah, I'm here to lay low again.
Another day has passed. During lunchtime, Natsuki finds herself having wandered to the stairwell once more.
Hey, did you buy that?
Natsuki quickly notices a bottle of iced tea on the staircase where she normally sits. Yuri nods, avoiding eye contact.
What, like, for me? But you didn't know I was coming here today. What if I didn't show up?
Well, I would have drank it myself, I guess. Or I would say, but you did show up. So why does it matter? It was a stupid thing to do.
No, it wasn't stupid. I just thought... Never mind. What I meant to say is, thank you. And that it's really nice. It's a really nice gesture.
It's okay if you don't feel that way.
I do. It was the other things that I didn't mean. I swear, please believe me.
Yuri pauses, then nods. Talking is hard, I get it wrong a lot. So believe me. Natsuki exhales in relief, but you sure do a lot of it. For someone who's supposed to be the quiet one. She then sits down next to Yuri and takes the drink. Knowing Yuri, she was probably overthinking it so much that Natsuki's tepid response filled her with self-doubt.
I'll do something nice for you next time.
Please don't feel obligated.
I want to. I want to do nice things to you, too.
Okay. Thank you. It's like, let's make a rated G version of that Billie Eilish song. That would be so much better for the world.
You can thank me after I figure out how to do something nice.
I'll do it then, too. Natsuki sighs.
Nothing. It just reminds me how I haven't been getting along with my friends lately.
Do you ever? Is that why you've been coming here?
Well, no, not exactly. I haven't been avoiding them or on purpose or anything. They are just other things I'd rather be doing during lunch lately. I like being around them when they're all just having fun, but they also just can't take anything seriously. So when I'm, feeling serious, then their attitudes just really get on my nerves.
Amen to that.
It's only gotten worse ever since I joined the literature club.
How come?
I don't know. I feel like I used to be really good with just putting up with it. Because I would be so stupid. It would be so stupid to cause drama over a joke I didn't like or something. But I just have a hard time doing it lately. But it's my fault for being overly sensitive. If I have a problem, I'm not going to demand for everyone around me to change.
But
Yeah, I know. Monica and Sayori really don't agree with that kind of thing. But they're not in my position, so it's easy for them to say that you should just communicate your feelings or whatever. It's not like my friend group does that kind of thing. I would just be making an embarrassment of myself. Sorry, none of this has anything to do with you. I don't know why I'm talking about it.
it's okay. I like listening. Referencing the second or third. I think it's probably the third side story. When Yuri tells Monica, "Oh, it's okay. I like listening."
What? Listening to other people's problems?
Yes.
That's weird. Sorry.
I just like learning about people. Do you think it's weird?
No, that's not weird. I probably just misunderstand, so. I don't know. Does that mean I should keep going?
If you'd like.
Okay. Well, I don't know about what to talk about now.
What are some things that you like about your friends?
A lot of things. I mean, they're really fun to hang out with, like after school and on the weekends. And they really like my baking. And it's fun to complain about school together. They make me laugh a lot, and we have a lot of good memories and inside jokes.
Oh. I'm bad at a lot of those things.
So,
Are those all things that are important to you?
well, kind of, but they're not things I need to get out of everybody. Everyone in the club is really different from that, but I'm still friends with them too.
Well, Sayori really likes your baking. And she makes you laugh. And she complains a lot.
That doesn't mean she's anything like my other friends.
Well, unlike them, she's a nice person who cares about your feelings.
Excuse me. How about you don't talk that way about my friends that you don't know anything about?
Natsuki stands up. No, wait. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't want to say something bad. Please don't leave. Natsuki sighs and shakes her head. It's fine. In my normal voice.
As long as you understand that you can't just judge people like that.
I'm sorry. Natsuki sits back down.
You can't just compare friends like that and measure who's better than who. Everyone's different.
I'm sorry. I just don't like people who want to hurt you. A moment of silence stretches between them.
They don't want to hurt me. We just like to tease each other about stupid things. It's fun.
I don't like that. And we're going to do an awkward, abrupt cutoff right here, as usual.